Hey everyone, this is Monty from Barbarossa Lives over here on the Forge Live. I hope you can see everything on the screen. I'm also recording this on OBS as yep, I'm recording it so it'll be out again. So we're gonna play some more Broken Cask today, and I found out a couple of things that were either that I didn't know or were unclear. First of all, last time I was using the innkeeper to do all my tasks, and couldn't quite understand because he had the best stats. Well, that's not the way you do it. You have to use your staff at all the time, except you can use the player, the innkeeper, once during your session. Now, a session is whenever you decide the session ends, so there's some wiggle room around that depending on how you want to play the session. And let's see, a couple of other things that I had put down. Sorry if the microphone's a little in the way of me reading this corner. I was going to buy some stuff last time, including a hero. You can't. You have to just wait for the tables to give you the chance to get a hero or a regular. I did spend the money so that I have a room that now allows me to, where did I put that? Other rooms here, the fun. So now I could hire a mercenary if I wanted to go on a quest. So that's out there. I still don't know if you can just hire the mercenary for a quest. I didn't quite, when you quest, yes, so I should be able to hire a mercenary instead. I'll have to, again, there's not that many rules. It's just when you're in the beginning and it's kind of all coming at you once, you forget, at least I do, you forget some of how everything works until you do it a few times. It's just the way I learned. And so I also improved, I thought I improved something else up here. So here's the room, and I bought a level of prestige. So that's how good your inn is, and I think that changes some of your rolls somewhere along the line. So we're still going to just keep rolling here. I did figure out how to put some dice up here from Roll20 so that we can see it. They shouldn't need this nearly as much, so we'll open this up so that we can see the whole, basically the game is this set of tables, and be able to scroll through them and then go over when we need to, and hopefully you can read it as best as possible. Sometimes my eyes have an issue. So we're going to pick back up to this point. It would basically, let's just call it another day. And so the first thing we don't need to do, we're still, I would say we're still in the same season. All the rest of the stuff should be there. We've just completed making a nicer room so that we can get a mercenary. So let's not say a day, let's say a week or something like that. And I'm not going to try to do too much with a storyline yet until I really get the game going. And then I think it'd be fun to start making up storyline. And when we can get some people in live, we could maybe make the storyline up together through a chat situation and do that. If we really get into that, we probably have to limit the amount of people in the chat, because even 20 people would be insane trying to keep up with everybody's ideas. So we need to roll on the table for events, and so we're rolling 2d6, which gives us a 3. Let's see here. I think I'm beyond it. Where's our here we are. A 3 is a special event. Wow, right off the top. And then we're going to roll a 6, which is a 5 on the special events table. and this is B6. Successful adventure comes carousing, and it'll be 3 times the tips, or we roll tips, then randomly select one feature of your inn. It has been destroyed. Wow, this is a big one. So right off the bat, I'm B6. What are my characters? We're looking at a +1, a +0, or a +2. So I'm going to go ahead and use my innkeeper right away for this one, and let's see what happens with a +2. So I need a 4 or better, and I got I couldn't see it, so we'll do it again. Hey, 5, we did it. So now we can go down to the tips, and way down here, and we can roll 3 times. So the first time is a B5, is another 5, which is 1d6 plus 1. 1d6 plus 1, whopping 2. So we'll go find our gold. Where is our gold? Which is the one we have to? There it is. Oh, and I have spent 20 of that, so with 13, we're at 15. So the second roll is another 5, which is a d6 plus, which is another 5. All right, we're doing all right here. And the last tips roll is a 6 plus 1 is 7, which gives us back to 27 gold, and that ends that turn. And now let's go ahead and roll our 2 on the next event. And that is a 11, which is a troublesome guest. All right, let's see here. There we go, troublesome guest. We'll roll our, and it's a 6, which is an M7. Wow. Unique. Create the task based on your anomaly. Okay, so we need an M7, and our anomaly is the pit that's at the bottom of the, I think we did this last week too. Yeah, this is the bottomless pit. So I guess our troublesome guest is whether he's probably too drunk and getting too close to the pit, and yeah, if he fails, well, he's gonna go down into the bottomless pit. So again, now since I used mine only 1, I do have a mind of +1. So I need I need a 6 in order to successfully do this, or we are back to something being wrong, and that is a 5, which means we didn't do that. So now we got to look at the failures, rare items, failure table, which again we roll a 6 and a 3 on the failure table. It costs you 1d6 gold. That is, I think, a 6. Is that like a I don't know. It's a 4. So we are back down to 23. Now, how does I guess they run out of, I don't know how they get exhausted, but maybe that's something within the it might just be now I gotta watch, because I think the XP, every time you roll a 6 you get an XP, I think. No, yep, I don't remember again. So let's see, while I'm talking, let's see if I can find the XP part. XP, the first time the staff member successfully completes a task, they mark an XP. At the end of the session, anyone with 3 XP let's see, we can train them. Okay, and then the prestige is the other one that you have to watch for. Let's see if I can find what it says about that real quick. And I'm not, well, that's not the right spot. Sorry. Do-do-do-do-do. I know you could buy it for the 10 gold, but I thought you gained take action. So let's see, we have the troublesome guest. He failed, so they get no XP, and then I used the other one first, and that's what we had, the 3. So all right, so once again we're back on to the actions table, and that is an 11, which we just did, which should be another troublesome guest, right? Come on, right table. Yep. So let's see what happens this time, since we've already failed it once. Did I go too far? I might have gone too far. I just was reading this, so I must be up another cleaning. There, troublesome guest. For some reason, I was thinking it was at the bottom of these lists. And another 6. So we end up with a 1 on this one. Well, this is at least B3. So body, a 3 or better. Degens from up country. Okay, and then we roll tips to make a level 1 hero. Oh wow, okay. So we need to do this to get our hero. Now, our best body is Raya with a +1. So we'll go ahead and roll our D6, and we get 5. Yay, we got that. Woohoo! We got a fantastic book for you that we are putting on our 50% off sale. This is Shadowrun First Edition from 1989 from FASA Corporation. The book has a little bit of wear along the edges. However, the pages are in absolute gorgeous condition. And some of these pages, I mean, just the artwork in here is fantastic. And there's even this little section here that is an entirely different kind of paper and showing off some of the creatures that have sprung up on Earth since magic came back to the planet. And just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff here. This one was normally $55, so that's going to make it, what, $27.50? You can purchase this on the website, or you can stop in Merrill, Wisconsin to our retail location inside the Shady Acres Market on 1st Street in Merrill, Wisconsin. So stop on over and grab this great collector's item for 50% off. Absolute steal, and hope to see you there. So we had passed, when I stopped there, we had passed, so we get to roll for a hero. All right, so this can be cool. Now I just have to remember how to roll for a hero. I think we have to, it's the same, except, so we need a name, which those tables are down here. So we'll take a D66, which is 2. We'll take to the one, I'll go 44, didn't matter. So 44, our name is, for this one, Trollhorn. Okay, that's the title. So it is Doral Trollhorn. Okay, D-O-R-O, Trollhorn. And he's a race of another D6. Nope, 2D6. And that is a 9. So it is a satyr. Wow, that's kind of going to be spelling S-A-T-Y-R. And the level, I would assume it's just level 1 to begin with, and then these must be 2, 3, and 4. So we have a level 1 hero. That's kind of cool. All right, And back we go to the top. I think I'm still missing something on the when the characters run out of when they're exhausted, but we'll just see if that comes up for now. And so we rolled a 7. So we have a cleaning task to do, and a d6 is a 6, and it's a unique cleaning task. Create a task involving your in service. So our service ancient healing fountain in the basement. So somebody has to clean around the healing fountain. So I'm not sure what could be a failing or not failing. I wonder if you can get too much healing, like if you immerse yourself in it. But let's go ahead and see. We've got an H6 I can't roll for, which would put us with our host. So Autumn's gonna go ahead and roll this one, and she gets a 2, which is a failure, and we go down to the failures, and another d6. Whoops, wrong one. D6, not a D8. And that is a 1. The character in question is injured or upset. Roll a 1d6. They get a 4, which means they are take -1 morale. All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna go like -1 here to say that, because I don't want to undo the morale, because I don't want to forget. I guess, yeah. So we'll just do -1 morale. Okay, and again, back to our task, and we have a 7. That sounds familiar. At some point, they're all going to sound familiar. And that is another cleaning task. So another d6 with a 4, and this one is M5. Wow, carefully clean the drinkware. Yeah, I guess that's going to be our brewer, trying to clean diskware with a +1 to their roll, and it is a 7. So that definitely cleans that, and +1 brewing, and a roll on the tips. Is a 5, which is 1d6 +1, which is a 3. Alright, so we got a little bit to catch up here. 3 gold, so that takes us back up to 26. Brewing, which I think should be up here. Cooking forward. -1 brewing forward. We need a +1 brewing forward. That's kind of interesting that -1 +1. There it is. I have also found that this part doesn't work very well. So sometimes it might just be easier to, will it let me just highlight in light blue? So that we have coming forward in case we would use any brewing. So we still have some people who could work. We're back on another 11, which is a troublesome guest, right? Oh boy. It's just not been a good day for the guests. One after another after another. Yep, another troublesome guest. Right there, another d6, and we get a 1. What's this one? B3 DJ. Okay, more. So we could either roll another hero, but we don't have a place to put the hero because there's only one room. So we can't really, we'd have to create another room. Now we can do this at any time, and we have the money to do that. So let's see here. Other rooms. So staff quarters too. So actually we need to pay anyways to get that one for the hero. So that is build is 10 gold for a new room. So I need to take my gold down to 3, and then if we would want another hero, I'd have to spend another 10 gold, which would put us down to 6, but I don't need to do that. So we're at 16 with a hero, and but we can just roll the tips if we succeed. So again, with the body, we are looking at +1 with Raya as our brewer, and go ahead and roll. And we have failed that roll, so we got to roll a failure. And that one is a 3, which it costs you some more gold. Okay, and it cost me 2 more gold. All right, so we're down to 14 gold. All right, and just checking, and back to 5. Have we had a 5? I'm sure we did before, but I don't remember one today. And a 5 is a service. There's cleaning, common, guest tax, service there. Oops, we need only 1. And it is a 6. Another N7 Wizards convention. Oh boy. So we have +1 again with our brewer. So that's who's rolling. And it's a 2. It is a failure. Back down to another failure. And we may be calling it a day soon because I don't think I want to run out of all my money. Although that can just happen again the next time. So -1 forward. So the next time I roll on a success or something, it's a -1. We can remember that. So we're back up to it. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. So we are back up again to a 10 on the what's going to happen next, which is trouble. Okay, 9, 10. Trouble's not troublesome guest, just trouble. There it is. And that is a 4. So an M6 Rats in the Cellar. Okay, so this is M, which again a +1 for our brewer, and -1. So he would again have to roll a 6. That is the only chance of succeeding, and he rolls a 6. Awesome. So you have a disadvantage for the next cooking or brewing task if I miss, and it looks like there's nothing happening if it's a positive. So he did get a 6. That is a actually he's succeeded easily in all 3 of those to go up. She hasn't really rolled all that much because H is the only one that's worth doing, and she's down to morale, and we've already used our character, so we're very quickly well, we need to, if we get exhausted, which I haven't seen anything else so far, but we have used that -1 back up again, and we are at 9. Cooking order. We haven't done one of those yet, I don't think, in either day. And this is a 4. So M4, the roast duck. Roll a d6 on a 1. Okay, so just roll a d6. And M4, so again, that's going to be our brewer. And he rolled a 1. So on a 1, the duck polymorphs into its humanoid form, and you miss automatically. Okay. And so we're rolling a bowl. You tried to cook a magic duck, or at least a person who had been turned themselves into a duck. All right, that's funny. The character in question is injured or upset. Roll. Yeah, that would be upsetting. And again, a cocked dice. I don't know how it does that. And a 4 on this one is 3 to 6. So they take a -1 morale, which gives them 0 morale. I don't think that does anything to... I could check real quick and see if I can find something on whether morale is a failing thing. If I can find it. Running the inn. I'm just gonna go through all of the attack things, and that's not really. Well, I'll see if I can find it later, but I don't remember reading anything about morale. It was only exhaustion that made you stop being able to use a character, as far as I can tell. Man, this would be great for an index when it comes to these things. I guess when you're creating it, you just kind of forget about certain things that as you're playing the game, there just aren't, descriptions of for you to know. That's special tasks. Session end. As you choose to end the section, you run out of actions. I don't understand what actions. Don't remember there being anything the table tells you to end, or you cannot give a refund. Don't know what that means either. So there really needs to be a whole part in about actions, morale, but there's all the explanations of the tables, but I don't see anything about specifically right away the actions or morale. Oh, here is an abstraction of how well the character is doing when they lose 1 morale due to a missed roll. Mental strain, emotional stress, either way, if their morale bar fills up, they're out of the session and they can no longer recover. Okay, so that means that now we only have this, the host to work with. So if she becomes exhausted, we're done. So these are the only ones we can work with at the moment. And so we'll go ahead and keep going a little bit longer yet. So we slowly get going, and then I'll forget half of this the next time we play, because I don't just continue play and play and play. So this is another service one, and D6 is a 4, and this is an M5 for a job fair. So her M is 0, so it's a 5 or 6 is what we need, and that was a fail. You cannot hire this action. Okay. All right. Okay. So an 8. Gardening. 5. H6. 10 to the flowers. Well, she actually has 2, so I can roll for a... Yep, that one actually passes. Which is +1 service going forward. Okay, so the next time we haven't done a brewing is There it is, +1 service, and we'll just highlight that again just to make that easy to remember, but you still got to remember to even look. So back up to the top, and we have a 5. We have done a 5, which is another service. What we just rolled, gardening. There it is. And this is a 6, which is the Wizard Convention. Advantage, or we roll failure, M7. They cannot get an M7. Well, that's a service, so still wouldn't matter. So now we're at a failure. I think what that meant is since we were on a service one, we could use that +1, which would have only given a 6, but it does take it. I mean, you get to own, you can't. Let's see. Highlight. We need to take off the highlight. I don't know. How do you clear the highlight? We'll just, okay, whatever. How would there not be a clear the highlight if you could put the highlight on? The failure, is that the 5 was the failure? No, that was the roll for the thing, and a 5 on the failure table is one of your regular Patreons is in danger of leaving. Well, I don't have a normal patron, so it really doesn't matter on that one because I don't have any. I haven't rolled for a regular yet. All right, let's call it one more shot here as our last thing of the day, and this is a 9. And what is this gonna be? Is a cooking order, which I still don't have a +1. Brewing, service, monster, common task, gardening, cleaning, cooking. Whoops, this is a 1, which is a 3 on the cooking, which is an H4 soup of the day, which they do have an H2, so 3, they do actually get it. We get some tips, and that is a 3, and so again that is a 3 more gold. All right, so lost, well, I think we started out with like 16 or something, so we're probably fairly even in the gold. Not really going to allow us to do a ton of upgrading, but I can check that out when I do my next. We'll put in a session log here and figure that all out. Thanks for hanging around. Come on over and join the Forge if you're seeing this on YouTube or Rumble. It's at Barbarossa Lives /Join the Forge, and that's a Discord community for solo game playing and world building that I'm building, and you'll be able to get all kinds of cool stuff for supporting me and helping the channel move forward and continue to play some games and other stuff as time goes on. Thanks again. Bye-bye.